Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Market Appraisal channel. Now, with all of the headlines and uncertainty and various updates that are coming out about the UK property market, I thought I'd come on with a different kind of structure, different sort of format to delve behind the headlines again, dig through the data, just to give you some hints and tips on how to navigate the current market. Now, the subject of today's video is looking at the nationwide house price index, which recently was released with September's figures. And in this report, you can see that the headline is UK house prices are growing at the fastest rate since the end of 2022. So I want to delve through this report quickly, just pick out a few bits and then give you some hints and tips on what to take away from this report. And we'll do the same with others and other headlines as we get them. So firstly then, this report states that average UK house prices have rose by the fastest pace for 2 years during September. The latest nationwide house price index shows average UK house price values rose by 3.2% annually in September and by 0.7% on a monthly basis, putting average values now at £266,094. This is the fastest rate of growth since November 2022, according to the report, when average values rose by 4.4%. But average prices still remain around 2% below the all-time highs recorded in September 2022, so that's worth bearing in mind. This comes as falling mortgage pricing, August's interest rate cut, and hopes of more reductions continue to boost buyer demand and motivation. So those are the drivers that are affecting the data behind this report. Obviously, the recent interest rate reduction in August has had a good impact on affordability for buyers, but there's a lot going on here, and we'll touch on that again towards the end with some tips. Most UK regions saw a pickup in the annual house price growth during September. Northern Ireland recorded the highest level of growth, with average prices up 8.6% compared with the third quarter of 2023. Average prices in Scotland rose 4.3% annually, while Wales saw a more modest 2.5% year-on-year rise. London remained the best performing southern region with annual price growth of 2%. East Anglia was the only UK region to record an annual price fall, with prices down 0.8%. So the interesting bit to pay attention to really is looking at Nationwide's chief economist there, Robert Gardner's comments. And here he touches on the income growth, so wages, income for everybody has continued to outstrip house price growth in recent months, while borrowing costs have edged lower amid expectations that the Bank of England will continue to lower interest rates in the coming quarters. These trends have helped to improve affordability for prospective buyers and underpinned a modest increase in activity in house prices, though both remain subdued by historic standards. So from an estate agent's perspective and what people are seeing on the ground in various different property markets and regions, sellers may be encouraged by these price rises, and they're finding that sometimes property too highly priced is meaning that vendors are really having to look at what the competition is on the market and try and adjust that price if they need to. So guidance from estate agents is that if property isn't getting viewings, it's likely down to the two old favourites, marketing or price, and quite often at the moment it's the price that needs slightly reducing to keep in line with the market. Falling mortgage rates have led to an increase in house price growth. So buyers now are finding it more affordable with the interest rates coming down. They're now more in a position to search the market. But again, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I'll touch on that now with some tips for both buyers and sellers. So if we take a look at the report in general, and one of the things I want to reiterate every time we do one of these videos looking into data and headlines is to remember that these headlines about UK house prices are often published to make you feel or act in a certain way. For instance, Nationwide would really like you to borrow money off them, given that they are a mortgage lender. So bear these things in mind when you look at these specific reports. Digest the data behind the headlines and then look more closely at your local market and circumstances. So if, for instance, you're selling a 2-bed terraced house in East Anglia, for instance, then the thing you really need to concern yourself about is how that particular kind of property is moving in that particular area. And that's looking at how many properties are on the market, how quickly they're selling, what prices they are selling at, and what the movement is between what they're marketed at and then what they're selling at, and things like the time it's taken them to sell on the market. So look at these headlines, take away some of the data behind them, and then really look at your local market and put it into effect there. Look at your specific circumstances. Use the headlines and media reports as indicators of what to look for. So if you are buying at the moment, the key thing is to research your local market and the property type you're looking to buy. So again, by all means, you take the headlines of these things, go and look at the data, but then really apply it to your specific circumstances and the property that you're looking to buy. The second thing right now is to really look at your mortgage. Speak to an independent mortgage broker to find you the best product and rate, given that lenders are currently competing and slashing rates. So now we're starting to see rates below 4%, given the last interest rate drop by the Bank of England. So it's now becoming very competitive where lenders are vying for business, and therefore do your best to shop around and get yourself the best deal. Obviously, as always, don't overpay or stretch yourself too far. The market is still very uncertain, and you'll see that as we go on through these points. And one of those contributing factors is the fact that we've got a government budget coming up at the end of October, and the government have already warned that it could be a rough budget in terms of there are going to be things that they need to either increase taxes and to pull more revenue in given the financial circumstances at the moment. So it's one thing that is adding an element of uncertainty and an unknown to where the market could head. Looking from the perspective of selling, if you're currently selling, is keep an eye on your competition and pricing. One of the things that is happening as a result of things that the budget and government have been saying is possible tax rises and, again, targeting buy-to-let landlords. And we are seeing a lot of buy-to-let landlords offloading properties that they've had as rental investments for a long period of time, and they're now considering this is the time now to sell. So we're seeing a lot more of that ex-rental stock come into the market, which again increases the amount of available stock. It's great if you're buying that you have a lot more choice, but as a seller, that's your competition, and there is a lot of choice out there, which generally has a push on prices. So keep an eye on that competition, keep an eye on where your price is pitched, and then adapt and adjust that accordingly. Bear in mind then that buyer affordability is improving, but there's lots of choice and buyers can afford to be picky right now. So I hope you found this quick video into the Nationwide Price Index helpful. Please do share your thoughts below, your comments, your experiences in the market right now, whether you're buying or selling, whether it's regional. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback on what's going on. Don't forget to like and subscribe the channel, and I will continue to keep doing these updates on relevant headlines, relevant reports, and any hints and tips that I can give you to navigate the market. If there's any specific questions I can help you with, again, drop them in the comments below, and I'd love to help wherever I can. So thanks again for watching. Hope you found the video useful and helpful, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.